Act 1, Scene 1 takes place on the streets of fair Verona, where we meet Abram and Balthazar from the Montagues, and Samson and Gregory from the Capulets. These four characters are servants of the families. They're not really important. You can probably forget about them after this scene. But anyway, they are walking down the street, minding their own business, cracking jokes with each other, just hanging out, as you do in the afternoon. And then they see each other. And remember, because they are Montagues and Capulets, they hate each other, and they do not get along. So obviously, the natural reaction to seeing each other is going to be they're going to flip each other off, in Middle English or Old English, which is biting your thumb. So they flip each other off, and obviously that starts a big fight. And the fight does not just stop with these four. It spreads throughout the entire city. While they're fighting, a new character named Benvolio runs in. Benvolio, in blue, belongs to the House of Montague, and he's a peacemaker. So he comes in and says, "Stop, stop, no fighting!" And while he is there trying to break up the fight, we get Tybalt, our resident bad boy of the play, and Tybalt looks at Benvolio and says, "You've got your sword out. You're clearly not trying to stop this fight." So then logically, they begin fighting as well. And then we have Lord Montague and Lord Capulet also run out, eager to get into the fight, because as the heads of these two feuding families, they obviously hate each other more than anyone else. And while they are desperate to join their fight, their wives, so Lady Montague and Lady Capulet, are like, "Stop! You're old! You're gonna hurt yourself! This is ridiculous!" But their husbands, of course, do not listen. So there's a huge fight, people are getting hurt, swords are flashing, blood is being spilled, and Prince Aeschylus rides in to save the day, and he says, "Stop!" And nobody stops. So he says stop again, and finally they listen. And he basically goes in this big long rant telling them that they're all idiots, and they need to stop fighting over this pointless feud because people are getting hurt. And he's so fed up with the fighting that he says, "Look, if you fight again, I'm going to execute you." So fighting is now punishable by death. The fight breaks up, luckily, so nobody has died. And the Montagues stick around, Lord and Lady Montague and Benvolio. And the Montagues are very concerned about their son Romeo, but they're a little relieved when Benvolio says he wasn't at the fight. They're also worried about Romeo because he's been acting very strange. He's been crying in the woods, crying in his room, and like good parents, they've asked him a whole bunch of times, but Romeo won't say anything. So as they're talking about Romeo, then who do you think should appear but Romeo himself? So Benvolio says, "All right, you guys, my aunt and uncle, go away, and I will talk to Romeo and figure out what's going on." So Benvolio and Romeo start talking, and Benvolio discovers that Romeo is so sad because he's in love, and the girl has rejected him, and the girl will not sleep with him, so he's very upset. Benvolio gives him the wise advice like, "Look, forget her, think about another girl," and Romeo says it's impossible because this girl is too beautiful, too perfect, and he is too in love. And that is the end of Act 1, Scene 1.